trash, rubbish, recycling and so on, get in touch with me, because I would like to have some voluntary schools in Bulgaria so that you can work with partner schools in other countries. And I've got 6 schools so far in Italy, Germany, France, where else have I got? I've got a school in Belgium and a school in Brazil as well. And I think if I could get 3 or 4 schools in Bulgaria, that would be a great opportunity. And I can help the school in Bulgaria with the materials, and then you could get your students communicating in English about this topic. So what you have on your final task on the handout is this map of the Mediterranean. And all of the learning materials in this project, Trashed, are from a movie called Trashed, which is narrated by Jeremy Irons. And it's made to raise awareness about this issue and about how our lives are creating literally this mountain of waste, or this ocean of waste as well, which we're not really doing enough about. And the film is to promote engagement with the wider world, and they've asked me to look at the movie and see how it can be turned into learning resources. So I'm having great fun chopping the movie up into activities for the classroom, and this is one for you. So what you have to do is 2 things. On your map, I'd like you to circle the names of the countries Jeremy mentions. He's in the Lebanon, he's in a town called Saida in the Lebanon, where there is a huge dump on the side of the Mediterranean Sea, and all the rubbish is just falling over into the Mediterranean Sea, and the pollution, the toxic waste and chemical pollution is going out into the Mediterranean, polluting a lot of these countries. Firstly, which countries does he mention? And then, with a pen, see if you can mark the areas of pollution on your map as well. See how you get on. It's basically a listening and watching and doing activity. So here we go.
While methane, the pernicious greenhouse gas, regularly blows over the city's nearly 200,000 inhabitants. And the tumbling trash and liquid runoff flows directly into the sea, affecting the local fishermen and their livelihoods.
This is not just a local problem, because over there is Italy, up there is Cyprus, Syria's next door, and north of Syria is the Turkish coast. And there have been complaints from all those countries about the garbage that floats up onto their beaches, much of which comes from this garbage mountain here.
Okay, what countries do we have?
Italy was
first.
Syria, Cyprus.
Cyprus he mentions next, the island right in front. Syria to the north, and then Turkey, the neighbour. And if you marked the whole of that area, you pretty much get where that pollution is going. So that's not much of a challenge. It's pretty much the whole of the coastline around the Mediterranean. And that's the kind of activities that we're putting into these resources to engage with teenagers about this issue of rubbish. The first collection of units is about Trash the World and Me. So it gets students investigating their own lives, how much rubbish they make, and they collect data about how much rubbish they make. And with their partner countries, they send the information they create and receive information from other partner classrooms in other countries. So, for example, one activity about collecting information will be, what does your city do with its rubbish? And if your teenagers don't know, it's a very good opportunity for them to find out what happens to soft used rubbish. When it goes away in the bin, where does it go? What's the process of dealing with it? Is it burned? Is it dumped? Or is it dug in a hole and landfilled? That's one question. So that they might take a few photos of the bin, a few photos of the truck arriving to take it away, find out where it is, and take a picture of the landfill site, which might be Tele Pizza, near Plot. And then send that to a partner in Brazil, Sao Paulo, where they have even bigger rubbish problems because of the size of the city. But they're using very creative ways for dealing with that problem. There'll be 4 exchange activities, and we'll go through me and rubbish, the first one, The second one will be consequences and health. The third one will be solutions and alternatives. And the fourth one will be looking at the future. So if you're interested in getting involved in a project like that with your children, all you have to do really is get in touch with me and let me know. And I'll take your email address and then I'll send you the resources when we've got the first units ready and partner you with one of our partner countries, whether it's France or Germany or Brazil, and you can do the exchange with your kids in the class. Anybody interested? Kind of cautious interest in the group. Well, that's, you know, no obligation, but I would be delighted to have some Bulgarian schools involved in this project. It's an amazing project that we've just started. And I think that is a very nice example of the kinds of things on a slightly smaller scale that the Beyond book is trying to get classrooms to do. Investigating the real world, the children's lives in the real world.
What was the second one after is for me and trash?
So we've got 4. This is my relationship with rubbish, how I live my life. We've got consequences and health. And we've got alternatives to the incineration, landfill and dumping. There are other ways that countries are developing now. One is zero waste. You know, certain parts of the world, cities are announcing no dumping or landfill or incineration, so they have to reuse and recycle everything, which is quite an amazing challenge. And then looking at the future is the 4th one. We're only really ready with the first exchange, and that's why we want pilot schools to help us test them out, and we can rewrite them and so on. And I get to my slide with the TrashedWorld journal, which is number 15. And we wrote this as a result of the Bulgarian English Teachers Conference, where I helped coordinate a day for teachers interested in content. And so this is a book with the proceedings from that day, with a lot of other content projects in it for English teaching and English classrooms. And I've got 4 of them. And one of the projects that is talked about in here is a project which has kids making stuff. So to finish off our discussion, but also within the context of Beyond, producing things, getting kids making stuff in projects, I'm going to ask you to make something now. And in order to do this, you have to follow me very carefully, because I'm going to do it and show you. And as I do this, I think I've got I put them over here. Did I put them over there? Where are my sheets of paper, Dan? I usually rely on Dan to make sure I don't get